What's up, everybody? Welcome in to another edition of the Hoops Hour. I am the big man on campus. It is January 23rd, 2019. The Hoops Hour is an hour dedicated to college basketball. We take a look at the card tonight, try to find some value, a little pregame action, if you will, see what is looking good, what's looking bad, and try to give you an edge tonight as you head into college hoops. Last night, winner at the website. Minnesota plus the 12, get the job done, almost win the game, but we will take it on a nice 6-2 run over my last 8, on a nice 25 or 26-15, 25, whatever it is, over my last 41. Really have had a nice run, 26-15 over my last 41. Really have just been in the zone. So hopefully keep going day by day, knocking them out and taking names as we head into March. Keep the profit coming in. It's all about taking care of getting out of the green as we were with the bad start, fighting back, and now it's all about profit as we head forward. So, very happy with what I'm doing, and let's give you some helpful tips maybe for tonight to try to find some info. You cannot find a better resource on earth than this hour right here. We will get going here. What's up, Troy, Dwayne, Bradley, Troy, Dennis, Brian, Marco, Alex, Jordan? I tried to call the radio show. We had some call issues earlier. We'll get into all the games here. Trenton, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll start it off in college hoops with this Texas TCU game. Interesting game down in TCU. Look, I've talked about Texas. I'm not a big fan of this group. I think at this number, I have some interest in Texas Christian. Sharp side, obviously, I think is probably Texas. But again, I mean, I like what I see at a TCU. I think this team, obviously, a nice win on Saturday against or on Tuesday against West Virginia, blowout winner. But then you come back and get bounced by a Kansas State, which, again, an away game at Kansas State, definitely a tough game. But I think you come back here at home, a place that they've done well at, and they're facing a team here in Texas that continues to have a lot of trouble scoring the basketball. Really, however you look at it, a lot of Texas's offense comes from the three-point line. You look at overall, 35% of their points come from the three-point line. This is a TCU team that is among the best in the country guarding the three. 27% they're allowing. That's 5th in the country. This is a team that gets after you, makes you create, doesn't put you on the line. They're a team that really does a nice job defending. And I think with not a comparable, capable scorer for Texas, I think this is a tough matchup. You also look at TCU. This team has been very efficient all season offensively. Really, Fitz Robinson, Desmond Bain, Kevin Samuel, J.D. Miller, it really hasn't mattered. They've found ways to score, and they've been very balanced. You look at, it's not just a one-sided thing where they're getting to the line a ton or they're doing well in the half court. No, they've gotten out in transition. They've been able to create in the half court. They've been able to create from the three-point line. Really have done a nice job. They're a big team. They have a decent bench, and they're at home here. I like TCU in this game if I had to play it. Just not a big fan of Texas basketball. I think on the surface, you look at efficiency here, you might say, well, maybe these teams are a bit closer. But to me, I think 4 or 5 points is where I would put this line. The fact that it's down to 2 is just a bit too low. In fact, if you get a 2 out there, maybe you just lay the 130, get yourself a money line, not worry about that late 2 points or 2 point. But I think the line should be 4 or 5. So for me, I'm okay laying 2 here with Texas Christian. Valparaiso, Indiana State. Interesting game here. Valpo playing some good basketball of late. They're starting to put their hat into the dance here in Missouri Valley. Starting to play some solid basketball or Valpo. I think they've won 6 of 7, I want to say. It's been impressive for Matt Lodich's team. They only have 1 loss over this Christmas stretch. Basically, since December 29th, they have 1 loss in 7 games, and it was to the best team in the conference, Loyola Chicago, and it was in Chicago. I've done some real nice things, beat a pretty solid Illinois State team, beat a pretty good Southern Illinois group. It's always tough to beat Northern Iowa, beat them as well. Play with a very deliberate pace. Don't go quick. Really kind of balanced from a scoring perspective. Do both. Play a lot of man defense. That's something Lodich does. And I'm not a big fan of this Indiana State team. This Sycamore team is just something weird about them. I mean, they don't really give you much at all from three. And it's kind of weird because they're a team that I think is totally different from what I think they should be good at. Like, you look at their 3-point percentage, 36%. That's 96th in the country, yet the three-pointers, as far as that it only is about 23% of their total points. Their goal is to get into the half court and score that way, which they don't really do well at that. They're not really good. They're not really creative, and they don't really have effectiveness doing it. I wish they'd take a few more threes. I think they'd be able to stay in a lot more games if they were able to do that, but they're just not a team that I really like very much. They're not a big team. They're not a team that really is going to bother you down low. Tyreek Key, a decent player, Jordan Barnes as well, but really like what I'm seeing from Derek Smits. He's done some good things for this Valpo team. He could give this team a real problem down low, Indiana State. I would look to maybe grab the points here with a pretty good Valpo team against Indiana State. Dayton, I think, is going to be too much for George Mason tonight. George Mason has some great guard play, but one thing they do lack is their inability to stop any big front courts. They're just not a big basketball team. When they play a guard-oriented team, George Mason, like a Rhode Island, they're going to get a win. But when they play a team like a Dayton, a Davidson, a Kansas State team like that, that has some size, some height, they're not going to get the job done. They just don't have very much height, to be frank, with this group. You look at them, they're 323 in average height in the country. Just not good enough. And Dayton has, obviously, if you look up and down the roster with this team, always a long group. Josh Cunningham, Togan, Mike Sell. This is a big team. I think they really get what they want down low. I think at home here, Dayton looks like a solid play. I think they win by double digits here. Let's get into some comments here. We've spent a lot of time going through a game. Let's contact some of the people here. Mike, welcome in. Blake, Little E, Melvin, George Young, Boston George checking in. Welcome in, George. Hope you're well. D Lap, thank you. Appreciate it. Hustle Man, what's up, Hustle Man? I hate Shaka. Yes, but it doesn't mean I'm only playing this game because I hate Shaka. I don't think Texas is very good. Thank you, All In 247. Appreciate that. Dean Izzle. What else do we have here? James Ross, Dane, Yergs, Jordan, Adam, what's up? John Nelson, Artez, Shun, Troy V, David, Dane, Jose. Let me check in with my mom here. She's giving me a call right now. See? Hey, Mom.
Hey, Jeff. What's shaking?
What up, Mom? I'm actually on the air right now, so say hello to my audience.
Well, I guess I'll talk to you when you're done.
All good. You going to say hi to everybody? Say hi to everybody.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
All right. I'll speak to you later. Hey, Mom, really, I actually just wanted to tell you one thing.
What's that?
They're coming to pick up the box spring on Friday.
Okay.
So I just wanted to let you know they're going to end up picking it up. So.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, okay. Speak to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. Not sure what she wanted, but all good. But yeah, so let's get to a couple comments here. People asking about Evansville. I like Evansville. I think they're a good play tonight. I think that Drake game is usually close with those two groups. I like what Evansville can do as far as getting to the line. I'm not in love with Drake without Nick Norton. I think 7's too many in that game. Vermont, UNBC. Obviously, this isn't a vintage UNBC team. This is not the team that beat Virginia last year. Ryan Odom has some pieces, KJ Jackson and Horvath and Sherburne, but KJ Moore is gone. This team is not, what they once were. They're not a great offensive team, very slow pace wise, very deliberate. But Vermont has been beating people into submission. I mean, they have been really destroying this conference, really up and down, whether it's, Binghamton or Hartford or Dartmouth in the non-conference. They've just really taken care of everybody in their way. Anthony Lamb is as good as anybody. Duncan Brothers giving you a lot. Steph Smith, the guard, sophomore guard, he's been good for them. And they've beaten teams up in this conference. I'm willing to think maybe UNBC gives you something here. I don't think UNBC is terrible. They're not Maine or New Hampshire or Binghamton. You got to wonder at what point does Vermont lose interest? You're laying a big number here, 14.5. One thing about UNBC, they're well coached. Okay. They do a real nice job turning teams over, which can keep you in the game. It's just tough because UNBC doesn't really do a lot of things that I want when I back a big dog like this. Like, I at least want them to be able to get to the line and be effective, which, they're not terrible, but they really don't have most of the players don't really do a ton from the foul line. So, gun to my head, I'd probably take the points, but it's hard to step in front of Vermont right now with the way they've been playing. What else do we have here? What's up, Juan, Matt, Josh? Yeah, I don't have much on Tennessee. I think LSU will win big. LSU is a team that we have to start looking out for. LSU is really good. Naz Reid is as good a big as anybody. Tremont Waters is terrific per usual. Will Wade's got a good bench. Skylar Mays has done some good things. And, look, they're playing with a heavy heart this year. Wade Sims killed in the offseason. I think with these kids, that's a big, it's real dedication this year. Cavell Bigby Williams has been good for them. He's given them obviously a ton of height. He's a senior. Comes over from Oregon. He's given them some good minutes. Really giving them a lot of a build off the bench, particularly in conference play. You look at the last 4 games, Cavell Bigby Williams has averaged double figures in all 4 other than the Arkansas game. So he's given them a real nice boost, that third scoring option, Will Wade's team. And, they're taking on a team tonight in Georgia that is bad. I mean, Georgia's had real issues in conference scoring the basketball. I mean, you look at the fact that Georgia is dead last in the league in 3-point percentage. They've had a real problem defending as well. You look at this year in conference, allowing opponents to shoot 50% from the field effective wise. They just have had some trouble. They're putting teams on the line, and those teams are taking advantage of it. They don't cause turnovers. They don't, they just don't really do much. I think LSU has their way with Georgia tonight. No problem, Jake. Thanks for watching. We're not going to obviously get to go through every game here. Try to go through as many as we can. Yes, box spring is covered. It's been sitting in my fucking living room. I don't need it. Basically, guys, I got a new bed, and the mattress I got was a really good mattress, but I didn't know if I would need the box spring or not. So when I put the box spring in, they put it in, and the bed was too high. So I took it out, and I don't need it. So now it's just sitting in my living room, and it's not been used. So I called the mattress place and I said, can you just come get this? Because I don't care about money back for it. I don't want it. I just don't want it here. It's in the way. So they're gonna come pick that up. Not that any of you care about that. Just making that point. Stony Brook tonight. Yeah, I like Stony Brook. Big fan of that group. Albany. This is not a vintage Albany team. Stony Brook shouldn't have a lot of trouble here. I think they win by double digits. Yeah, jump shot Jordan. I don't bet a lot of parlays. I wouldn't recommend you do it either. A lot of those teams, I mean, yeah, it looks good and easy, but you're basically betting on 4 teams, and you're only going to win the amount you bet. I mean, that's not what a parlay is for. I have no interest in that bet. I mean, 4 bets to win what you bet. So if you bet $100 on that, you get 100 back. A parlay is supposed to give you great odds. Plus 100 is not great odds. Fordham, yeah, I don't have interest in Fordham tonight. I would look towards LaSalle. LaSalle's starting to get a bit healthier. LaSalle, not a good team. Not going to try to sell you a bill of goods that they are, but I'm not really buying much into this Fordham team either. I think these teams are pretty similar, to be frank. Um, we if you know anything about LaSalle, they're going to always have the best player in the court. Pookie Powell is as good as it gets. They just haven't gotten a ton from anyone else. One thing about LaSalle you love, though, is generally, and I do mean generally, refs are very giving with fouls. That's just what the NCAA is now. And LaSalle is fantastic from the line as a whole. 78% from the free throw line. Top 10 in the country. So that's one way they can really even this game out. You look at Fordham, 226 in the country. These teams are similar. Maybe Fordham's a bit better, but I think this game can even out at the foul line. And I think this LaSalle team is getting better on defense. They have a good bench, which could be important here. Gun to my head, I'd take LaSalle. Oh, man. Exactly. Hit the like button. I appreciate that. I thank you, all of you, for listening every day. Hope you enjoy the show and learn something here every day. St. Louis and Duquesne. You know, Duquesne, to be honest, haven't been the same team since the Penn State game. Just feel like something's a little off with Keith Dambrot's team. I think they really feel like they got cheated in that game. You look at since then, they've lost a game to NJIT, lost a game at Davidson. They've beaten a bunch of nobodies in this conference: Fordham, St. Joe's, Richmond, and GW, the four worst teams in this conference for the most part. Now you get a tough game here against a very good St. Louis team. I'm real high on this team from a defensive perspective. St. Louis is really solid. This year, they're a bit better offensively. The only thing I hate about St. Louis is they don't make free throws. But all they have to do in this game is win. And that kind of has me kind of interested, to be honest. I think they're the sharp play here. I would look to lay the 1.5 with St. Louis. They just grind you down, find ways to get the job done. You look at on the season, St. Louis, 18th in the country in effective field goal defense, only allowing opponents to shoot 45%. In conference, that's knocked down to 44.5%. Terrific defense. They're going to get, obviously, a test here. This Duquesne team's been very good. You look at in conference, Duquesne first in their league in 2-point percentage. They're doing a nice job. You just hope that fucking St. Louis can make their free throws. Could be the difference in this game. If I had to play it, I'd take St. Louis. The problem with St. Louis too is like 60% of their 21% of their points come from the line. They get to the line. They're very good at that. It's just they don't convert their opportunities. They make 58 or 59% of their free throws. That's like right at the bottom. They have one guy that shoots 73%, Tremaine Isabella. Jordan Goodwin, 54%. Cartier Gordon, 50%. Hassan French, 37%. DJ Foreman, 54%. Fred Thatch, 53%. You have Javon Bess and Isabel. Cartier Gordon's gone, so we don't have to worry about him. He left the team. So that's one guy off that doesn't shoot well. You got to get the ball in Isabel and Bess's hands late. That's kind of the key. If you can do that, you'll win. What else do we have here? A lot of people commenting here. Yeah, I don't care much about revenge, Alex. We talked about that game though. I don't think revenge means a ton to Vermont. They're the best team in the conference. How about Long Beach and Northridge? Probably look over the number. Northridge is a great over team. I'm saying this again. I think Diane is a lottery pick for Northridge. Really good player. Just terrific. I don't know how else to say it. He is the best player no one knows about. As far as Long Beach, I mean, I don't bet a lot of Big West. If I do, it's overs. So we all know Northridge scores a ton of points. Both these teams good from a tempo perspective. I think we see some points in this one. No opinion on Illinois State. Marquette's got a tough game with DePaul. I don't know. I really like both those teams. I feel like Marquette maybe just whips them up tonight. Thanks for listening, Rob Taz. If you guys have any interest, you can get my premium plays at rightwager.com on a terrific run over the last 60 plus days. Slow and steady wins the race. If you're looking for profit, that's what we do. That's what I do. I'm not going to give you 3, 10, 20 games a day, but I'm going to give you 1 or 2 and they're going to get the job done. That's all this business is about. Every night making a profit. That's all it is. You know, put together a 5-2 week, everybody's happy. See, for me, I don't bet a lot of games, but the bets that I make are decent amounts of money. You know, I can grind that out. You know, I'm not betting $50 a game. I don't need to win 10 games to make any profit. I can bet $300-$400 a game, you know, win 3 or 4 units and make a G a week. Not saying I do that, but that's the point. The quality over quantity. It's very simple. So I don't have a lot of plays, and I don't think you need a lot of plays to make any money. Look at the NFL. Think if you bet $1,000 on every NFL game I've given out this year, you'd have made 7 G's about. Again, most people, though, are betting this as a hobby. They're doing it as a side thing. So look at it that way. People that bet a lot of games, there's a whole lot of stress there that you don't need. What are my thoughts on Illinois State? Oh, Illinois. Yeah, Illinois, Wisconsin. Good, interesting game here. I think Illinois has a lot of trouble in this game. They are at home, but I think Whiskey is a big bad matchup for them. Illinois thrives off turnovers. They thrive off turning you over. They thrive off getting out of the half court and running. They want to get the ball into the hands of Frazier and DeSunma, guys like that. Wisconsin's not going to let it happen. They're just going to play slow, make them get into the half court. And when they get into the half court, Illinois is not effective. It's just that simple. I don't think Illinois has an answer for Happ. Bazanishvili, I don't think he can guard him. I think he's too slow. I just think it's a tough matchup. Illinois is not a good defensive team either. You look at Wisconsin, very efficient when they do have the ball. You look at second in the league this year in efficiency, and they don't turn it over. I mean, that's going to really bother the Illinois Fighting Illini here. They want to turn you over. That's how they make their money. They're not going to be able to do that tonight. That's what's so great about Wisconsin. Would like to see Ethan Happ get a little better from a free throw perspective, but I don't buy into the whole they're off the big win, so they're not going to play well here. Wisconsin really can't afford a letdown. They've lost 4 of 6. They can't afford letdowns. And this Illinois team, look, I grabbed them last week against Minnesota. It worked out for me, but this is not a team I think, against a Wisconsin or a Michigan or a team like that. They're a solid team. You may be getting points, but we saw on Sunday, Illinois is what they are. They're not a good defensive team, and they go through droughts as an offensive team. For me, I think Wisconsin is a bad matchup for them. I think Wisconsin will dictate pace. Jordan Parnes checking in saying that there are 227 people in here right now live. While I'm not getting 400 or 500 people a show, I think people need to understand this show is strictly off me posting on Twitter when this show is. And these are all organic college basketball fans that want an opinion. I built this show my own way. And that's from giving good info and fucking killing this shit. I don't have something to prop me up no more. This is from fucking good old-fashioned hustle, baby. Welcome in. Strap up and let's fucking go. So thank all of you for joining me. I fucking love all of you. I will get to a play tonight that you need to be on. Just stay tuned here for a little bit. Russ B, what's up? King Op, welcome in. He's on Missouri. All right, Missouri plus the points tonight. Oklahoma money line. Like it. Definitely like it. Think Okie bounces back here. It's been a tough stretch for the boys from Soonerville. They've had a couple tough luck losses, but they're still very good against the spread team. And while Oklahoma has struggled, Oklahoma State's actually struggled even more. Oklahoma State has held open tryouts this week to field the team. They had to suspend 3 players and release them from their scholarships, and they're now off the team. Mike Boynton, the coach, has discussed that it's been difficult. They're pulling kids in off campus, giving them tryouts. It's a bit of a mess right now down at Oklahoma State. They're not playing well either. This team has lost 4 of 6. They've lost 2 in a row since the loss of the big boys. Boynton's got a lot of trouble here. You got an Oklahoma team coming in that's pissed off. They've lost 3 of 4. They really cannot afford a loss here. Oklahoma is about as important game as you're going to find. You got a Saturday game at Vandy and that SEC shootout thing. And this is a team with a nice bench. This is an Oklahoma State team I think is just going to run out of bodies late in this game. This is a must for Oklahoma. Got to have it tonight. It's just that simple. Can't afford a loss here if you're the Sooners. I expect Lon Kruger to have this team prepared. Defensively, they're still very good. I think they go on the road and get a big W tonight down in Bedlam at IBA Arena. What else do we have here? Yep, talked about TCU, Texas. You got to show up late. You got to show up early here, Corey. We don't waste any time. Thank you, Marks. Appreciate that. Are you going to Temple, Memphis? Probably. I have to figure this all out. What do I think of the job Penny Hardaway's doing? I think he's doing a great job. James Wiseman is the #1 player in the country next year, and he was able to get James Wiseman to come to Memphis. The fact that he was able to do that is speaks for itself. That's what recruiting does for you. I think Penny's doing a fine job. I think he'll do quite well. We will give a play of the day on the show here coming up. Any thoughts on Houston? Houston playing Eastern Carolina down in Greenville, I'm sorry, it's in Houston. Sorry, for some reason I thought it was in Greenville. Listen, I think Greenville, East Carolina is actually quite scrappy. But Houston is a different animal. They're a team that really defends at a high level, and they're kind of like SMU when they defend. SMU is if you can shoot against them, though, you'll beat them. East Carolina can't shoot. That's kind of the problem. I think East Carolina struggles here on the road against Houston. Houston's a team, though. Can they win by 17? Can they blow a team out? They've had trouble kind of doing that lately. Their offense has had and hit the skids at times. So it'd be interesting to see here. Can they go and win by margin here? A lot of points to lay. And one thing about East Carolina is, they're pretty good at getting to the foul line. They could stay in games that way, but they do have trouble shooting the basketball. It's that simple. They got beat up by SMU, got beat up by Temple, lost by 11, at UCF. But I'm not running to the window to lay a huge number with Houston. It's your thing, Corey. I'm glad you're here, but I just have to. I have to start when I can. I don't have anything on the Arkansas game, to be honest. Do I like the UMass Lowell play? Yeah, I do like UMass Lowell. I think even without Jones, they'll get the job done. Where do I get my stats? I look everywhere. A lot of it I write down. Ken Palm, team rankings, Synergy, Hoop Math, all sorts of different websites. Very analytical stuff. Breon Brady. Breon Brady's terrific. I saw him live. Great player. Couple more here. What else do we have? I kind of looked at a couple of the smaller games here. Holy Cross has had some trouble lately. Army's playing some pretty good basketball down in the Patriot League. It'll be interesting to see if Bill Carmody's team in a toss-up game on the road can get the job done. That's an interesting one. Hartford playing good basketball, but New Hampshire's been scrappy. We talked about UMass Lowell. I think they can get the job done here. Binghamton is pretty bad. Bucknell should have no trouble with Loyola, Maryland. The Greyhounds have had major trouble on defense this year. It's just that simple. They're a long way away from, I think, the team that they once were on a defensive perspective. Loyola, Maryland is not only bad, but they're on the road. Somehow they've won 3 in a row. I'm not really sure how they've done that, but they're going to get a Bucknell team in here. It's really good. Loyola, Maryland, allowing opponents to shoot 40% from 3. That is ugly stuff. Whoops. Looks like I lost my chat box here. Who do I like tonight? Okay, someone's asking someone else who they like tonight. Let me get my chat up here, guys. I'm having a little trouble with that. Bear with me. Sorry. Fuck, man. I need my show. I got clicked out of it by accident. 230 people in here. Thanks for joining me, guys. Appreciate that. You know where to come to find the good info, baby. We're moving in. Thank you, Hal. Thanks for checking in. Guan, what's up? Let's get to just quick play of the day here. I'm going to go with Loyola Chicago, and I'm going to give that out to you guys. I really like this play. It's my favorite play of the night. And again, we're kind of at a tough road here because I sent it out at 2.5, but I still like it. I think they get the job done by 4 or 5 plus here. Missouri State is a team that I'm not interested in. A lot of people were turned off by this game because they saw that Loyola had some travel issues. Travel issues aren't going to be a big deal here in this game. Loyola is ready to go. They're playing some great basketball right now. They've been terrific defensively, 9th in the country in scoring defense. Lucas Williamson has added a ton to that. That's a play I would take a look at tonight. I love another play. I do like LSU. I'm starting to really get into that one. I think Georgia's just a bad team. LSU is focused. I think they're playing for their fallen comrade this year. I think they beat up Georgia tonight. I think those two are definitely ones to keep your eye on. I think all in all, the card's not great. There's not a lot of good stuff out there, to be frank. That's kind of up to you. But guys, going forward, listen, I'm not giving any more premium plays out on this show. I've given you guys more information than I think anyone could ever ask for. I gave you 45 units of profit last year. Most of you made a lot of money off me. The reason I went the handicapper tout way is I need to make money on what I'm doing. I don't work for free. I sit here all day and do these shows. I don't, I need to make my money somewhere. We charge $99 a month. I don't. There's handicappers that are charging $300 a month. $400 a month. I mean, again, if you want the picks, you want the best of the best. We're really working right now, and things are going well. We'll take it step by step, day by day, and hopefully keep it moving here. Giuseppe T, what are your thoughts on you taking Lehigh? Lehigh's been just kind of an irritating team, to be honest. I mean, I've had them once this year, and they blew a huge lead as a big favorite. They were up 25, needing to cover 8.5. And they won by 8. I mean, it was really ugly. It was one of the worst beats I've had in a long time. They're a good team at Lehigh. I like them a lot. They're well coached, but they just seem to there's something about them that's kind of been irritating. Brett Reed's a good coach, and the problem's just been a lot of the time when they step up, they can't finish the job. You kind of thought defensively this year they'd fix it, and they haven't. They're the best 3-point shooting team in the country as well. 47% from three. They're gunners. But when that's not working, where do they go for offense? Navy, though, I mean, is pretty bad. They should cover. They should win by double digits. But I've learned with them, I mean, with Lehigh, it's never easy. Like, they never, seem to finish the job. So, be that as it may. Yeah, I get that, Sean. I mean, listen, there are so many people that have no business charging for plays. They're complete morons, but there are people that have a reason to do this. I have media, I have content, I do shows everywhere. I need to do what I have to do. So that's cool. Makes me sick listening to you talk about right wager. Well, see ya. I don't care what you do, Sarah. You're a fucking loser. And you won't ever be on this chat again. So see you later. But thanks for adding to the listeners tonight. Appreciate it. Yeah, I guess I should just sit here and act like I should be a slave and give everyone free picks and I get nothing out of it. Listen, I got to make a living. That's how it works. I don't work for free. He watches the show because he's obsessed with me. That's why. All these shitheads are. All these trolls, all these people that hate me, they all watch the show, though. And that's what's great about these people. They're so obsessed with me that they still watch everything I do. And it benefits me, all of it. Everything that they do benefits me. The promotion, talking about me, the listening to me, it all benefits me. That's the great thing about it. So keep watching and keep supporting me. I appreciate it. They don't understand that not watching me is the worst thing. And not talking about me. Talking about me just makes it worse. Thank you, Hal. Appreciate that. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate that. Thank you, Josh. It's kind of you. Nisbet, is DePaul plus 8.5 worth a look? I don't think it is. I think DePaul, they've been scrappy. I mean, we got to give it to the Blue Demons. They have been real scrappy this year, but I think Marquette's as good as it gets. I really think we had a guy take them in our survivor pool on the radio show. I think the pick's interesting. DePaul is scrappy, though. You got to give it to them. Marquette's on another level. You got to wonder if, Marcus Howard can be stopped here. DePaul can sometimes get into these lulls offensively. You got to hope Max Struss shoots the ball well. But they've been solid. I mean, you got to give Dave Lateo some credit. They don't go real deep. They don't have a great bench, but the five guys they throw out there, Struss, Kane, Gage, Olajobi, and Reed, I mean, they give you good minutes. Got to respect it. I agree, Isan, but I'm not looking to step in front of Vermont. They've been too good. You can just join. Contact me on the website, Mars, rightwager.com. Do I like Ohio State today? Please give some insight. I don't really. I mean, these are kind of those middling Big Ten matchups. I don't really look to bet against Purdue. I think Purdue will find a way here. But Ohio State, got to get, desperate right now. They've lost 4 in a row, and they're a team that's having issues. Yeah, they're good offensively and defensively, efficiency wise, but they're just not finishing games. But Ohio State doesn't do too much to me. They don't really wow me much. Lean Purdue. I don't really bet much on Ohio State just because they're always kind of like a middling team. I don't think their home court advantage is particularly good either. So not a ton of insight on that. Thanks, Scott F. Appreciate it. Please hit the like button. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Big man, you're the most knowledgeable when it comes to college basketball. And always appreciate. Thank you, James. Appreciate that. Yeah, listen, Alex. It's a peaks and valley business. Sometimes things are going well, things are going bad. I just try to take it day by day. I don't think I'm back to myself. I don't think I was ever gone from myself. I just had a bad 2 week run in basketball. Football, I'll be honest. NFL, I've been great in. I will say this though, college, I've learned a lot over the last 2 years, and I'll probably make the announcement that I don't plan on I plan on kind of taking some steps back from college football. I think in this business, you have to be smart and willing to admit when you just don't have a good read on things. And over the last 2 years, I haven't had a great read on college football. I've enjoyed doing the videos, but this season wasn't good. Luckily, NFL kind of evened it out a little bit, but it wasn't a good season for me. I had some trouble with it, and those things happen. But I think next year I'm going to focus more on, obviously, baseball, kind of later in the season, and some of the soccer that I bet on, a lot of the football league stuff. The reason I haven't put soccer out there is because I've just kind of been focusing on basketball and NFL. But next year I'm going to obviously use more of the platform to give out, that League One, League Two stuff. Just grab some money before college basketball starts. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it. College basketball kills me. Yeah, I mean it can if you definitely get caught up. Is LSU a team you're taking the first half more than full game? No, I don't think first halves are really that. I'm not really in love with first halves. In spots that I over the last couple of weeks I've taken them, but I prefer a full game. But I had a couple this past week or two that I just liked the team in the first half. I felt like the spots were good for them. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate that. Do you think Kansas can take it all the way? Will Duke and Zion take it all the way? I don't think Kansas can go all the way at this point. No. Can Duke? Sure they can. Any thoughts on Abilene Christian? Abilene Christian, not really. I don't bet a ton of Southland, but right now I will say Sam Houston State has been terrific against the number. They've been very good, covering a lot of games. They played tonight against Northwestern State, I believe. Might be worth taking a look at the Bearcats, Sam Houston State. Like I said, playing great basketball, laying about an 8-point number at Northwestern State. Northwestern State is a very bad team. Very bad team. And this Sam Houston State team has won 6 in a row. You look at their losses this year, Sam Houston State. La Tech, Clemson, Georgia, East Tennessee State, Central Michigan, Little Rock, Colorado State, Utah Valley. Pretty much every one of those teams outside of Little Rock are pretty good. I mean, they're really taking names right now, are the Bearcats. They're playing great basketball. Jason Houston's done a real good job there. They have a real good bench. They're an experienced group as well. Kai Mitchell is really good down at Sam Houston State. They give you a lot of bodies they can throw out. They're not a big team, but they have great guard play. They only go about 6'4". Or I'm sorry, I want to say Kai Mitchell. I think he's like 6'6". But overall, they've gotten it done. You look at on the road too. Went to Central Arkansas, won that one, beat Houston Baptist. Northwestern State is real bad, real bad. I mean, they don't really do anything well on offense. They actually don't do anything good on offense. So take a look at Sam Houston. They're playing well right now. You're on the Nets tonight. Good luck. Is Binghamton bad? Binghamton is bad. Yes. Stan Scott's a good player, but that's it. That's about it. Sixers -2, says Matt. That must mean that Ben Simmons and Jimmy Butler are not playing tonight, which Jimmy Butler's out, according to Keith Pompey. People kind of got on my shit and said I was stealing info. I have a guy that is in the know in South Philly. He sent me that night that people weren't playing. People thought I was trying to copy other people. I do live in the area and I know people. So I was just giving the info out. But that's what Twitter does. Twitter constantly is trying to dumb people down, Jimmy Butler's out, obviously a big loss. You lose his defensive prowess. And Ben Simmons is sick. So I kind of like the Spurs to begin with. So maybe I'll get involved with that one. Need a bounce back night in the contest. Went 0-2 last night. So I'm even right now, 8-8. Do I like UCF? Yeah, I kind of like UCF tonight. You need a bounce back from them. They've had some trouble. They've had issues with Tulsa. Obviously lost to a Wichita team that I think we both know are bad. Who is King? Kobe Valentine. Kobe Valentine is a complete loser that for years, well, probably a year or so, he was in my inbox. He literally blew me for info. Like, he loved me. He was all over me, just like most people are. They love me. And then Kobe Valentine decided that he was going to become a capper himself. And he is one of those guys that you see nowadays that basically steal info off everybody and, try to be tough and be cool and give picks out. And the truth of the matter is they're losers that have day jobs because they're not good enough at gambling. And they put up that they're not handicappers and that you can give them tips if you win. That's basically code for I'm a fucking hack and I'm not good enough to sell picks. So I just tell people if you win to give me money. But if I lose, I don't want to hear from you. That's what people like him do. And now he's all of a sudden a big handicapper. He's just selling his fucking lane and sell houses or do whatever the fuck he does. Listen, you know who sell houses? Middle-aged white women. That's who sell houses. Men don't sell homes. Men go out and get the fucking job done. That's what they do. And Kobe Valentine's a loser, which is what he is. He says my name for press. That's what he does. He's a loser that no one knows about and feels the need to talk about everyone else because he's not winning himself. So that's who Kobe Valentine is. He's like most of the people on the internet. They loved me before. Now they hate me because you know why they hate me? Because everyone knows who I am and no one knows who they are. That's why. It's jealousy. That's all it is. I guarantee Kobe Valentine would trade lives with me if he could. I mean, he has to go to work for a living. I get to do something I really enjoy. So you tell me who's living a better life. I have a hot girlfriend. I have a good family. So whatever. I couldn't care less who sells homes. My mother's a realtor. So I don't really care. I just, a guy like him should, maybe he'll get a real job. But who cares? I don't know why we're wasting time on him. Go ask him. But all right, guys, have a great day. Thanks all of you for joining us. This has been the Hoops Hour. Let's go out and get some money tonight. We already talked about Stony Brook. I would bet that one. Have a great night, and we will hopefully be on the air tomorrow. Everyone have a great night.